Fantastic point of view. G'day guys, how are we doing? We are back. Some fun pictures. Some you've seen before, some you haven't. And we are going to throw around some paint on them. Woohoo! Spin this around here a little bit. Is that the perfect place? It is now. Is it? Let me wind that up here. Yeah, that's gold. Alright. There we go. Alrighty, tidy in. Now, thing that we're gonna do first. Bit of white on the dog. That's the plan. Okay, one plate. Pure white. A bit of parchment, I think. Parchment and regular white. That's the plan. There we go. Splice into a bunch of clear painting medium. That's gonna be our bread and butter. Here we go. A little bit in here. And this one here, personal favourite. Coming on back a little bit. Alright. Let me get this cap out of here. Hold the horses. And I've got a pretty exciting new canvas to make, but I'm trying to fix my microphone before we do it because I want to have good quality sound when we start that commission, because it's a big piece. I want to do it outside in the gardens, and so without the sound right, it won't come out right. So that's what's happening there. That's what's happening. Anyway, right, so look-see here. Let's have a think of how we're going to attack this cute little dog. With this plate, new little colours, my favourite black brush, which is starting to get a little bit musty, and a bunch of this transparency fluid. Now, first thing I want to represent here is this white paw. This is part of the reason why we've come back at all. I need this white paw to appear. Here we go. Beautiful. And then there's a little bit over here. And a little bit on this chest. There we go. That's what we're after. I have to admit, Karen, to see you wear it as much as I can't understand that. Jeepers, Mai Tai, I'm here, but we're painting a lovely dog. That's the plan. Right, more. Bit of white goes in here. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. A little bit more in the background. Now, once I get this last little bit of white on these dogs, the next stage is going to be to move on to those statue works, which are looking pretty fun, I reckon. Pretty fun. Here we go. What's my favourite art piece that I've done? Jeepers. I don't have a favourite. If you made me pick right now, the one I've got in my possession, which is the Hibiscus Surf, that one's probably number one. Probably. But still pretty good. I think I had a couple of favourites. I like them all for different reasons. Rose, this is Kiwiland, New Zealand. Welcome. We're here in New Zealand. I've got a fresh new mat. That's where that little stomping noise keeps coming from. There we go. A bit through here. Beautiful. A bit more coming down in here. Lovely. And then just in here, just a little bit. You know? Yeah, just in here. Love the hibiscus. Oh yeah. That's probably my, yeah, that's my favourite right now, but only because it's in my possession. It did have a home, but some last minute things changed, and it was no longer available. Sorry, not no longer available. The person who was going to take it could no longer take it, which I was pretty excited about, because that meant that I could keep that piece, and after we'd made so much history after travelling and things, it was pretty special to be able to keep it. Alright, there we go. A little bit more parchment. I might slap that around the sky here a little bit, but then we're basically done. There we go. You like the Venus? We're bringing Venus out. Venus is making an appearance really, really soon. Once we get these two dog ones all sorted, then we'll jump on Venus. There we go. Hello, Elizabeth. How are we doing? You're back on fire. You made it in here fast. I've only been live for maybe how long? Like 5 minutes. And sorry for disappearing over this weekend, guys. I had a couple of reels I wanted to post, but I've been dabbling on a few new projects, and I appreciate everyone's patience while I do that. So, new projects right now, to give you a little bit of insight, is oh my god, Elizabeth, I'm doing fantastic. I don't have any pets. I did have a lovely golden retriever that used to hang out with me. I saw him last night. His name's Barnaby, but not at the moment. And Flo, hello. Right, here's those last little bits of white added. Let's take down this fella. And since we put on that paint quite thick, we're going to lay it flat, and we are golden. One more dog, guys. Give me just a second. I'm going to put this out too to get you excited, because this is on the way. Voila. That's Venus. We're going to come on to her shortly. But before we do that, we've got another little dog that requires our attention. And hello, Flo. How are we doing? You're making candles right now? That's fun. That's fun. What a pleasure to have you here, Elizabeth. I'll make a painting, or you make candles. And it can be teamwork the whole way through. Thanks, Bella and Coco. Good to have you here. Let me just jump in here. Teamwork. Pretty much. Pretty exciting, actually. I might lift this up just a little bit. There we go. And now I need to tone back those yellows just a wee bit, I think. Here we go. Turn those yellows a little bit more orange. Do we need some white through here? We will add white, but yellows to orange is the main play. Connor, this is New Zealand. Let me think about that, Elizabeth. Give me just a moment. Is it just the 1 cent, Elizabeth, or are we splicing it with a few other things? Because it's by itself, I'm saying pumpkin spice. But if it's not by itself, if we're actually adding in other mixes, lavender's quite a soft combo. So let's say pumpkin spice for now. But if we're splicing, get that posture back. I'm crouching down with my neck. If we're splicing, then lavender might be the best choice. There we go. There we go. Just this eyeball here. Yeah. Pumpkin spice. I remember Americans used to love that stuff while I was over in the States. That was their go-to. Pumpkin spice lattes from Starbucks. The best of the best. I'm more of a long black man myself. That's my go-to. Avies. Hello, Avies Frog. Time it took to master my technique. Good question. I don't think you ever have it mastered, because I think one of the most important things about art is you're constantly changing it. So you go on a little journey with yourself, but I don't think you could ever say that journey's been completed. Once it's been completed, and you say, yep, I'm done, this is how I do it, you've turned your art into a craft. And that's okay, but it's not where I want to be. I want to keep making art. I think the style was always trying to come out though. Ooh, dark red, dark red. Orange is too predictable for pumpkin spice. Hello from Virginia, welcome Eric. Good to have you here. Here we go. A little bit in here, and then just a little bit around here. It's that wave rumbling down. There we go. Maybe a bit up here in the sky. There we go. I try and get out and do some walking every now and again, Enrico. Walking is good for you. But mornings are a great time too. If you're an early morning person, the world is literally your oyster. It's so easy to get out there and get so much done. There we go. I'm curious about Venus. Venus is coming back. Not just yet, but she is. Going to be popping across the screen shortly. Venus de Milo. That's what we call her. Venus de Milo. Now, let's grab a little bit of this. Combine that with a little bit of this. Combine that with a little bit of this. Let's see what we get made. Trina. Thanks for being a subscriber, Trina. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. There we go. That's the colour I'm after. Beautiful. And now we're going to sneak in through here with it. Some more bolder strokes, I think. That's what we need. Bolder strokes to help really capture our puff. There we go. Perfect. You've got to go? That's all good, Elizabeth. Go make your candles. Until next time. Thanks for popping on straight away. I appreciate that. Give me company off the bat. That's always welcome. Here we go. So a little more down through there. Hello, Jay Smith. How are we doing? And see you later, Elizabeth. Victoria. The whole team's back. How was everyone's weekend? Here we go. That's good. Hey Van, how we doing? Here we go. Mm-mm-mm. There we go. Alright, get a little bit of black in here. Ooh, no, burnt sienna. Burnt sienna, and then a little bit of black. Perfect. Perfect. It was good. And Noel, I'm doing good, Noel. I'm doing good. The weekend that I had was spent all over the show. Mainly with Shelby's family this time around. But it made me realise that I need to get back and see my own family. Make sure everyone's happy and looking after themselves. It's been a while since I've been back to Tauranga. In the Tauranga studio as well. Sort of been a hot minute. There we go. Alright, get a bit more black in here. And let's frame this face. Chrissy Miss J's, that's fantastic. I am glad to hear it. I am glad to hear it. Have you sent me some pictures of it yet? Because I want to see it. Yes, I do. The ballerina is quite an interesting one too, because we've framed it very differently from the other prints. Usually, I'm opting for a white frame, but with the ballerina, it's doing a little bit different. We opted for a black frame and a black mount, just to make those colours really pop. But it's fairly unique to have done that. So, we're pretty wild, and I hope you love it. Oh, fantastic. I'll keep an eye out. Was it to email, was it? I'm a little bit behind there at the moment, so. But I'll check that out, Chrissy. That sounds fantastic. There we go. All right. Perfect. I'll keep an eye out, Chrissy. I will keep an eye out. And we are not far off pausing on this one too. Here we go. There we are. Oh, a bit more around here, I think so. A bit more black. There we go. And this one can come down too. Just little coats on these dogs. Perfectos. Right. On to our lovely Lady Venus. Up she comes. Perfect. I'm glad, Chrissy. I'm glad. Cool that we could do the unlimited prints too. I'm really happy about that, because it's it's one of those things where it's pretty cool to make the art more readily available. You like the green? This is a fun one, Victoria. We don't normally use this much green either. It's pretty wild. Usually we're using far, far more pinks and turquoises, but for this statue, I want something just a little bit different. We will need vibrant greens though, rather than just the regular greens, because I don't want her to look like a mouldy statue. I want her to look like she's a cut, crisp sort of stone. There we go. Let's bring this iPad up here. There we go. Because a lot of old statues, if they're not well looked after, can turn green. Don't want to connect the statue with that if we can help it. Here we go. Come on, Venus. Come on, Venus. Classic song. Here we go. They can go down there. You but here. Cheers, Raylan. Yeah, this is fresh. This is fresh. We don't normally do it this green, so I think a bit of change is always good though, Vic. This is good. This is good. There we go. And this can go here. Hey Gary, hey Brandon. You liked what I did this one yesterday? Yeah, it's good. Let's go like this. Is that? I think we can do better. How are we going to get this in just the right place, team? Give me just a second. There we go. Or maybe I'll take this off completely. There we go. And maybe we roll this up to here, and I put this up to here. Applying the green while you're gaming? That's cool. That's cool. I think that's a good reason why music isn't the best thing on the stream as well, because that means you can actually watch the stream while you go about your regular daily life, which I reckon is pretty cool. Let's bring this up here a little bit and bring you across here a little bit. Perfect. All right, here is our lovely Venus. Are we going to start breaking it down with a few? Yeah. I think we're going to take every colour on Venus, except for blue. That can be our plan. That can be our plan. Going for more of a natural colour this time too. This is our brown. Here we go. There's her neck coming around this way, framing her character. Dev's be chucking some yellow in there, to be honest. Alright. Alright, let's throw around some yellows then, Vic. I already had on the paintbrush, you're waiting here for it. There we go. A little bit in here. Here's that yellow. There we are. Let it sort of play around this neck here a little bit. And up the sides here. Add a lot of it through to here. There we go. It's going to add this royalty golden feel to it, which is pretty fun. Here we go. And she's got quite a intense nose at the moment, but we can dismantle that a little bit. There we go. And you start to see that face coming out a little bit more. We're doing it as a little series, Victoria. We'll see how well this one goes. This one in the thinker. And if we have a lot of fun with it and we think, oh, okay, there's more to capture here, we'll do a series on soft stone. I like the term soft stone because we're getting stone and we're making it soften under the brush. That's the plan. Cheers, Sam. But we'll have to see. Because it depends on how, I say. We might find that in these next two, we capture everything we want to capture, Vic. And if we do, we'll stop. But if we have more, we'll just keep going on this venture of soft stone. Steve Roma, how we doing? Here we go. Little bits of yellow. Right down over the toes, coming out across this podium piece, crossing around. Call it a podium, a lectern, a plinth. It's a plinth. That's what it's called. A plinth. There we go. Keep mixing up. Alberto, what do you think? What do you think I am? If you were to guess what Seb was, a tea or a coffee guy, what would you guess? I can't stand tea. I'm a coffee guy through and through. That's the American me coming out. I mean, don't get me wrong, actually. I like the occasional tea. But I've always been I just like a black coffee. I've got one right now. Black coffee. A fish in their true colours for a beginner. Depends what kind of fish. Really depends on what kind of fish. You choose a tadpole sort of like fish, be easy. You'll smash it. Swordfish. Ooh. Finding Nemo. You're gonna need orange. Yeah. Thanks, Ure. Oh, La Pieta. Well, I'll tell you what, Vic. If we continue past these two, then let's put that on the short list for the rest of the project. But for now, all the attention is going to the soft stone. Get a bit more of this brown here. There we go. And up through here. Lovely. Around the nose, down the mouth. She's got this funny little double chin. I always find that cute about Venus. Here we go. And here, deep sea fish are so cool. Animal Crossing taught me all I know about them. Alright, good for you. And es tacos. Yes, tacos? You know what? I reckon Venus might have liked herself some tacos. Let me look see here. I reckon she was a taco girl. Although it is Greece, so maybe she's just an olive oil girl. That's likely too. Let's just spin you there a little bit. There we go. Alright. A little bit more out here. And down through here. Beautiful. All the way down to the bottom. Venus Del Milo. D Milo, not Del. Like a laptop. Here we go. I think your painting is going to surprise us all. It might do. or, wild card, nothing happens. That's also likely. Who knows? We just need to paint. See where it takes us. That's my job. A little bit more of that. And a little bit of my coffee. Ooh, I made that strong. Made that very strong, but that's nice. Alright. Mixing this up here. And now, let's add this in. I think what we'll even do is grab a slightly bigger brush. This one here. Here we go. Hello. Big old expressive brush. That'll be fun. Actually, let's actually jump back a little bit more. Bear with me, team. Let's bring you back a little bit more. And let's have some fun. Let's have some real fun. That can go there. Good position, perfect. What kind of brush is that? This is a massive brush. And the reason why I like this brush is it forces you to do exactly what we talk about. Sacrifice, bit of detail, in favour of some raw expression. So you've got to get on board with that. There's only so much control you can get. There's a spider on my shoulder. No, I think it's the brand. Yeah, see? Spider. Here we go. It's actually, for this big, sloppy, larger strokes, this is the same brush that you'd use for a house. It's a correlation. Covers a lot of surface area, has a long pole on it. There's lots of perks. I think it's pretty fun. The strokes from a bigger brush like this, where you don't have control at the tip, you've got control at the base of it like that, that allows the strokes to, be very, very striking. And we don't want to be afraid about encroaching in on Venus with these strokes. Building up that more compelling background with it. There we go. A bit more. Hello, Michael. How are we doing? And remember, you do sacrifice a lot of control with this brush, but you need to realise that's why you picked it up. Sort of like going on a overseas adventure. The reason why that's fun, and the reason why that grows you, is there's this relinquishment of control. Gotta love that. There we go. Let's grab a little bit of this colour. Perfect. Perfect. get that all around this background. Just a bit of texture, just to build up what we want this picture to be. And then up around here a little bit, encroach into that body. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Let that background know that yes, you are allowed in the foreground, not to overpower it, but to be a part of it. In a small way. There we go. And then up around here. And down through here. Perfect. Hello, Joe. How are we doing? Who was holding the camera for me? A little stand was holding it for me. So a camera stand, and did the trick. Sometimes though I get someone to hold the camera for me, but in that case, it was just a camera stand. Nothing too fancy. Here we go. Oh yes, all the way down. There we go, Venus. Just like that. Lovely. All the way to those edges. Coverage is the name of the game there. And get this tray completely cleaned off. Perfect. Now, we'll put that in there. Put this down here. And I am going to grab a little rag. Because I made a mess. Hello, buddy. G'day. Welcome from the Netherlands. And love the green background. Yeah. A little bit wild. We're using some really, really big brushes just to add a bit more expression into it. It was getting quite caged. So anyway, we're loosening the whole thing up, shucking it like an oyster. One moment. And I'm going to put this one here. Can't even say hi to me. I'm so sad. Oh, hello, Michael. How are we doing? Michael, you're welcome to be here. I hope you're not trolling. Here we go. Looks like graffiti street art to a point. That face will be interesting when you do it. We may not even do it. The fact that you recognise the face being there means that we may not need to actually progress too much further with it. As humans, we have this obsession with trying to make things appear. You know, forcing a face to show up, forcing hands, forcing form, when we can just appreciate tones and shapes. Thanks, Kathy. Appreciate you. What a pleasure to have you here, Kathy. You can come by any time. For some reason, every time I jump on this live, my throat's fine beforehand, and then 15 minutes into speaking, it's starting to get that husk to it. Like, I think it's because with the lack of the DJI speaker that we had before, I think we end up immediately getting this husky tone. So I used to be able to speak nice and quietly. Let's actually swap this for a... Is that too wild? It might be. Or is this the right size brush? We'll persevere with this, but it might be just a little bit on the small size. Why are your eyebrows always stuck in that position? Sorry, asking for a friend. Well, they are stuck just above my eyes. I didn't realise they weren't supposed to be stuck. I didn't realise I was supposed to be able to move them. And if you can, please let me know how. Because I've left them on my face since I was born. No, it's I think it's the lack of the little speaker system. That's what it'll be. The little mic that I used to have. which is currently getting repaired. I don't know what happened to it. Just stopped working. Here we go. Just splashing around, building up detail on this face. Wild, chaotic detail. Cheers, Serena. Here we go. Let's check a little bit of this through here. See how we're just putting it on quite thick. It's thick, but it's also transparent. It's going to try and run just a little bit. We'll stop that from happening where appropriate, but we do want it on thick. That's key. There we go. And down to the side. Let's do it the whole way down there. Then out. A little dress coming out the side here. Oh yes. And down. I'm doing a transparent layer right now, Vic, actually. Transparency is popping, but you can see through it, just. And that's why we're being quite obnoxious with it. And that's what's going on here. Here we go. Perfect. And a little bit more around here. And across these toes. Yeah. Arguably some of the most fun layers we do, Vic. Because it's very, very hard to make mistakes on transparent layers. Because like you say, you can always see through them. So can you really call it a mistake if you can still see everything underneath it? Just have fun with it. Throw it around. Be more obnoxious with where it goes. There we go. I think we need to grab some just a little bit of this. Here we go. Not blue, but turquoise. So it's got that slight blue touch, but not too much. Not too much. G'day, John. Sorry for gaslighting you before, John. Like I was saying, Mark Zuckerberg playing games with me. Now, for John and anyone else who's just recently joined us, transparent layers, going on to Venus, getting quite wild with it, quite gestural, quite crazy, in an attempt to actually add some more expression into the stone. There's lots of background that goes on here, guys. Now with lots of background, we need lots of expression. Otherwise we get an awkward figure stuck in the middle. John, you're an absolute legend, mate. Appreciate you to no end. And John, if you haven't seen it yet, here's our newest implement. Now these are commonly used to paint houses, but the reason they're great is they turn the control you usually have over the brush from 10 down to 1. Well, you still have control, but they favour expression much more than they actually favour the likes of... they favour expression more than they favour detail, which is exactly what we want to do with these earlier layers. And see how, as I apply the paint, I can do massive movements in at my wrist, and it does very little difference at the canvas. It has an impact, but it's so subtle. And so we can get more subtle expression caught in this picture with this giant brush as we add this lovely turquoise over this green. Here we go. And sorry I've been away all weekend, guys. I was missing you all last night. But like I was saying, a couple of updates. The series is getting made, and here's a crazy thing about the series, guys. You know how I always talk about making a painting, but destroying it after you make it, if you're trying to get focus on process? Subconsciously training your mind to enjoy making it because it thinks that the end result won't exist? Well, in the series, we're going to do a bunch of works that will only exist in the series. And how's it going to work? Because on the series, we're going to paint them together and paint over them together, which I reckon is pretty wild and cool. So if you become a part of that series when it goes up, there'll be works up on that that will never be seen anywhere else. Precision? Oh yes, of course it does. But that's part of the fun, Victoria. You give up on that precision. You leave it behind and realise that actually, that precision that you thought you needed so badly from the brush, that was the one thing that was holding you back from landing the stroke exactly where you wanted it. And see now, we've got a lot of gradient changes, but actually the form's getting a little more true. She's getting that little bit of popping attitude. I'm liking it. And most importantly, she has more of a connection with her background. Previously, very, very little connection with the background. And we want that connection with the background. Venus de Milo, she's lovely. She's less than a third of the picture. So we need to make sure we embellish her and embellish the background equally. So that way, we don't just think it's a character sitting in the middle of a giant bunch of waste space, that we see her owning the entirety of the space. Now, more teal, baby. Here we go. Popping attitude, I mean that. I'm not being the least bit sarcastic when I say that. I mean popping attitude. I want to see it, Venus. Show me what you got. Here we go. This is perfect. And bring this down through here, just a little bit here. Lovely. Down through there. Nice. Roll it. Down there. And then right down to the bottom. There we go. It's going to encroach around there. About to put this one down again in favour of the small brush once more. Also, the other thing is that I've been spending a little bit of time on, recreational time, laying in bed, whether it's of interest to you or not. I've been working on a book. Does this painting already have an owner? It has no owner. But we don't want it to have an owner. Not until it's reached its final form. Otherwise, we'll start protecting it too much, controlling it. We want it to have this loose freedom to it. Venus can't belong to anyone until Venus has reached her completed form, I reckon. Better for her, better for me, mentally, psychologically. I'd start thinking, right, she belongs to someone. Let's make her start to look pretty. Let's make her start to look proper with her colours. And we'd lose that aspect of Venus that we're enjoying so much. Here we go. I always love it when I see a foreign language in here too. And I wonder how much of what I'm saying am I saying clearly enough so everyone can understand. Hopefully more than half. There we are. Okay, Venus. I'm liking how much she's losing control here. How much she's flying off the radar. We can always, like I say guys, we can always bring back detail, but we can't instill expression. If you don't start with expression, you can't have it. It's very hard to bring back into a picture. Start with it, lose the painting in it, and then look at it, love it, and add detail. Detail's easy to get. Anyone can figure out detail. Sometimes we sit here thinking, oh, but detail's the hard part. I always struggle with my eyes or with my ears. It's easy. Tutorial later, you can be an expert on detail. The tutorial can't teach you how to do expression, what strokes are right for you, and where they should go. That's on you and you alone. So start with that. We can get detail in later. Here we go. Not yet, Vic. Not yet. I haven't worked on that since I was with you guys. Primarily because that's quite a fun one, Vic. I think we have some fun with that picture. I think we put it together in a way that's sort of it's engaging. I think everyone can see the topic. Everyone knows Barbie right now. Thanks, Carrie. I think so. I always save that one. Landscapes. I think there's something about a landscape that's always fun to do by yourself. They have this therapeutic nature to them. But portraits, capturing someone, that's always best as a team, I find. Always best as a team. Because then we can all see the face coming out together as well, which I think is pretty cool. Here we go. And up around here. And all the way down through there. Lovely. We're not going to stop there. We're going to get a bit of... Is it going to be blue? Am I that crazy? I guess I am. I guess we are going to go crazy with a little bit of blue. We actually made Barbie a little bit darker last time, didn't we though, Vic? Did we? Darker off what it was beginning as. Here we go. This is quite fun for Venus as well. I know we want those greens, but I'm getting this feeling right now that some alluring blues instead of blacks are going to have a really positive impact on Venus. I want to capture some amazing feeling in the statue, but I don't want it to be sexual. There's going to be this element of beauty to it, of course. She's wearing this sort of cloth. She has a beautiful chest, a beautiful face, and that's our entire focus. But I want it to be raw beauty. The kind of beauty that you just look at and revere rather than sexualize. And I think the colour palette is starting to morph towards, less towards the blatant green, but a Gaia sort of creation, and linking more up with sort of Art Deco-y. These yellows and blues and greens. It's almost reminds me of 70s furniture. But we're a long way from there. Well, we've got more things to add, more changes to make. Hello, Larissa. How are we doing? A little moodier than the start, I think, but personally, I adore it. Adore it. Fantastic. And thanks, LJ. I'll be in touch along with Hector. Good to have you here. Thanks, Bravo. Just trying to catch up on comments in between. Building some depth into this lovely, lovely lady. And now that the whole canvas is wet, but with transparent gels, you'll see as the paintbrush lands, what happens? It slides really, really easily over the top of that paint that's already wet. It's not having to be self-lubricated. It doesn't have to have its own gel mixed in with it to make it flow. It can actually just do it on top of all that wet paint. Speaking of though, I came up with a quote yesterday, the day before yesterday, I was really proud of. One of my friends was talking to me and saying, you never answer anything. without getting all the context right first. Why can't you just say yes or no? And I didn't realise it was smart at the time, but looking back on it, I said, well, context is the lubricant to a good answer. And I believe that. I think that's true. Here we go. More up around here. I'll bring you down here with me, guys. We're going to be on the ground for a little bit here, just doing this dress. Come on down here. Here we go. And let's add it all around here. And up around the statue there. It's a little bit dry down the very bottom here. That's alright, we'll make it work. Grab a little bit more of this, just to make sure that bottom piece gets the right amount of lubrication. The whole way down. I say lubrication, what I mean is wet paint. We need it wet, so it bounces over each other. We're doing a wet on wet technique with this. Why? Because we're so used to stone being dry, hard, rough, strong. We want a wetness in the paint. Because the wetness in the paint is going to soften the stone. And that's what we want more than anything. Softened stone. There we go. And just down through there. Beautiful. Up we come. Okay. And then we're going to do a little bit through here. Where else are we going to go with this blue? There we are. You always undo yourself. Oh, I see. I was going to say we do. We do typically start off with a work that's hinged, and then we'll look at it and think, nah, what's that adding? Let's unhinge it a wee bit. Let's add in an element of crazy. Let's send this picture somewhere special, somewhere new. See if we can discover something in paint that was lacking in the photo, that was lacking in the marble. And if we can stand away from the painting and see something different, unique, and maybe even better, who knows, than what the marble had, now we're talking. But you never know. You never know. Here we go. Big, blatant brush strokes, guys. Here we are. And a little bit more through here. Hello from Green Bay, Vicky. How are we doing? Good to have you here. I've been to the Louvre only the once. Only the once. And loved it. The other place I really liked was Barcelona. Barcelona had some amazing stuff by Picasso, by a lot of famous artists right now. Banksy, a few others at the Macau. Moco Gallery, I forget the name. It was cool though. It was very, very cool. Here we go. Let's get more of that big, saturated blue all through that background. See how we're chickering it slightly? That's okay. Just using the most efficient means possible with a small brush, covering large spaces. There we go. Couple of times, loved it. That's good, Vicky. Eventually the whole thing is online now, interactive. Wow, I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's kind of cool. Makes sense though, because a lot of people live in so many different places that makes it hard if the Louvre is only in one location. Get it digital, make the art and beauty and history available for as many people as possible. You can see why they'd do it. There we go. Beautiful. That's pretty impressive. Did you sit at the fountain? I think so. I think so. A lot of fountains in the world though. Which one in particular are you talking about? And throw a coin in? Ah, no, I didn't throw a coin in any fountains. Strikes me that you may have though, huh? Here we go. A little bit more of this blue. Start framing a figure. Pastels. That was a bad stroke. We'll fix that though. There we go. Perfect. Not that I remember, Serena. Not that I remember. Here we go. A little bit through here. And I want to get a similar colour palette in the robe as in the flesh. And the reason I want a similarity there is even though we're not staying true to the colours of the stone, it's fun to keep that continuity. Keeps that relationship back with, there we go, what makes it. What inspired it. That's what I mean. Here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. And what will be next? I think we need to get some white in there, to be honest. Some white. Let's try something a little bit wild to kick off with. Pastel pinks. It's a fun idea. Here we go. Pastel pinks. Here we go. Big confident brush strokes too, guys. I'm going to capture confidence in Venus. One of the ways we'll do that physically is with brush strokes that just exude long format confidence. If they're short and spattery, that shows almost anxiety. And I don't want that to be inside Venus. What I want in this Venus is immense presence and confidence. And I think part of the beauty of it too is when we see the Venus de Milo, we've seen her so often that we don't expect her to have arms. It's quite funny actually. There we go. And a little bit more through here. Beautiful. Enjoy pumpkin spice season? Tyler, never had much to do with it, but it does sound pretty fun. There we go. Perfecto. What is Venus? Venus de Milo is a statue at the Louvre. So this is Venus de Milo. But it's a very, very old statue. It's from a long time ago. And in that, creates a bit of mystique, something we can't fully understand, which is pretty cool. There we go. What inspired me to draw this? It's one of my favourite statues, but we started with Alexander the Great, and I thought that's quite fun. There's more softness in stone I want to capture. So I gave Venus a go, and the Thinker a go. And if we have fun with those two, we'll continue on with the project and keep capturing more characters. But for now, we're just focused on Venus. Favourite X-Men character. Honestly, I'm pretty basic on that front. It's probably just Logan. I like Logan. I think he does his best. Where else do we want to go here? Come to Rome, there's a lot of statues, and hello Elizabeth. Yes, Rome does have a lot of statues. Well known for it, there's no doubt. Here we go. A little bit through here. And down through here. Now we're talking to it. And down through here. Perfect. Whee! Yes, that's the goal here, Elizabeth. The name of the game, smooth brush strokes. And those underlying greens still playing a massive role in making the whole painting have that green feeling to it. But as you'll see here now, there's a bit more of a, got a fair representation there. Let me have a look at this here. Let me see if I can get more of an accurate colour onto the canvas there. Yeah, it's pretty close. There's this intensity to it. I'm not sure if maybe the camera's capturing it. This intense vibrancy to all these colours we're adding. A lot of them are straight from the tube, which increases the potency of a lot of them. There we go. There we are. Thanks, Elizabeth. Paint smells lush. Don't sniff paint. That's naughty. Speaking of which, though, let's turn on the dehumidifier, air purifier. That's a great idea. Bring it right over here. Here we go. Oh, it's a commercial. We're giving you a hard time when you're trying to share a commercial with us. Sorry about that. Just up through here. Across the chest here. It's a little bit scattered, those brush strokes. They weren't quite as definitive as we need them to be. It's alright. Don't need to change anything. Just recognise when we're not capturing expression quite as intensely as we should be able to do. Here we go. A little bit in here, coming down here. I think we might even lift her up a wee bit, we'll see. Just to make sure I can get down low here. Or I'll keep just dropping down to my knees to add more paint coats. Here we are. Add a bit of pink to the plinth. And up around here. Next colour off the ranks. What's it going to be? What is it going to be? Let's add a bit of brown to that background. Bit of brown into the background. Here we go. Burnt sienna. Mix it in with those pinks ever so lightly. Very similar to the green we've currently got there. But there's a fantastic intensity the saturation of this brown. The fun we're going to have here though is it will match a lot of the hues that we're already adding into this background. You know, for a sort of 70s, I was saying before, Art Deco-y style with the background. Sort of jumping from colour to colour with these weird hues, with the idea being that you get this, I know she's from thousands of years ago, but what if we made her feel like she's from the 70s? Here we go. But just give a bit of intrigue to the background here. That's fun. You're off to bed, Elizabeth? Well, I appreciate you popping in 2, 3 times. Get some sleep, and I will catch you next time. Here we go. A little bit through here. Perfecto. And now we're going to grab this. Probably a little bit of magenta. That'll be fun. Alright, here we go. Spliced in. Softness and stone. Every brushstroke wants to exude that. Exude. Bring out. Make it feel. I think at the moment too, there's certainly no idea that there'd be hardness to this at all. Just incredible, lush softness. That's what we want. It's what we want. Beautiful. And a little bit more in here. There we go. Right the way to that edge. Lovely. We're not finished with this colour either. But it is popping. Oh yeah. This is what I'm talking about. The background's arguably becoming as fun as Venus herself. This is what we wanted. This is what we wanted. The background's so playful and loose as well. It makes the whole of Venus relax a little bit. Aphrodite or Venus? Well, the statue itself is called Venus del Milo. But certainly, when we talk about the beauty of Venus, I think it's appropriate to maybe mention Aphrodite. Aphrodite came from the foam on the waves, as I understand it. She's Poseidon's daughter. Is that correct? Or Zeus? I forget. Foam on the waves, though. Is that great song? She's so high. Above me, she's so lovely. And that song says Aphrodite a few times. It's the only reason why I bring it up. There we go. Alrighty. Cheers, Elizabeth. Appreciate that. Okie dokie. I think we'll bring back some, for one night and one night only. We'll bring back some yellows. And then from there, we might pause on this one and go to the thinker. But it is pretty fun. Thanks, David. Appreciate you. Alright. I'm getting a little bit of light. It's a little bit intense in my eyes, guys. I'm just going to do a little adjustment here. Just a little adjustment. There we go. And then this one here. It's going to move these lights up a wee bit because they're directly into my eyes. And it's blinding a little bit. And that blinding effect is causing me to look at the painting funny. Anyway, perfect. Okay, so. Sub, we visit you on and off when we TikTok surf. You are most. Oh, thanks, Serena. Appreciate you. Right. Okie dokie. A little bit of this. That's kind of fun though. Surf amongst the TikTok channels. Pop on, see how it's going. Surf off again. Here we go. I reckon Victoria and Jay have done that every now and again. They're like, we're always here. And then just goes for just a little surf. Just a little surf. Nothing wrong with that. You unhappy face Venus mythology. I can't help that. What's that art piece? Joseph. This is Venus. Here we go. Chiama Venus. Now we're talking. See those yellows playing a massive role. It's a little bit of mustard on Venus. That's what we're up to here. Just a little bit. Greek myth geek here. Well, you're welcome to be here. This is Venus del Milo from the Lumen. But she was a very, very old sculpture. And there's lots of theories about where her hands were. And I think they're even debating about who made her and who she may be depicting. Way, Taylor's version. Welcome. And I'm glad. Right. Iconic? She is iconic. Do you mean Way or do you mean Venus de Milo? Because let's say they both are. There we go. Down through here. And we're going to get a little bit of this parchment. Splice that in. Now we're talking. Beautiful. Sebastian. Great name. Good to have you here, Sebastian. Got a little bit of this in here. There we go. A little bit more of that mustard colour. Now we're talking to it. What do you reckon next, guys? You get a little bit of this and put it right at the top here. Right there. Then we've got a little bit here. Perfect. Hello, Melissa. Now, I think we'll attack with red. Green's still playing a massive role, but I'm having fun. I'm having fun just bouncing from colour to colour and just seeing what happens. The plan was just to stay on mono green. Now look at us. Now look at this group of absolute wildcats we have here. Somebody stop them. Okay, here we go. Fiery red, adding that intense expression. Oh, here we are. There we go. Building up those medium grey colours. Perfect. Then down through here. And over here. Melissa loves the colours. Good, good, good. I'm glad to hear it, Melissa. I don't even think we're finished. I think we're on a little bit of a wild escapade. Everyone's panicking like, don't ruin it, Sid. You started off so strong and now you're putting paint everywhere. You're gonna break it. Which is possible. Which is always possible. If you don't take that risk, then I feel like you stop paintings from being able to become all the crazy things they could become. Wholesome crazy things, but crazy things. Perfect. There we go. There we go. Add a little bit more up here. Alright, we're going to pause on Venus for a moment and move on to our little friend, the Thinker. We've had fun though. We've had fun with Venus. Haven't seen you in a while doing the classics, huh? Yeah, we are doing the classics. So this is Venus. It's not finished yet, but we've had some fun. Let me pop her out of here. Put her down on the floor here. Swap her with the Thinker. There we go. So how's she looking there from the distance? She's looking a bit more crazy, a bit more all over the place. A lot more expression than we started with. And that's all good. Here we go. But some classics. just to keep it fun. There we go. Put that down to here. Screw that up nice and tight. And now we're doing the thinker. Rylan, my weekend was fantastic. My weekend was fantastic. Let's move you clean out of the way. There we go. Okie dokie. Now, the thinker. The thinker. What to do with you? Control chaos, yeah. That's a good way to put it. That is what we're up to here. Same story as before too. A lot of transparency gels. And we're going to add some more of that red into the base. There we go. I think there's this quiet therapy in chaos. Like we're always so hell-bent on finding control in a painting. So much so that some artists work from one small corner and build it up from one side to the other, you know, doing small features at a time. I love to take the whole thing at once and just let it all be in chaos. It's uncomfortable sometimes for an artwork to be half complete in a lot of the areas. But I think there's something about that. Something about sitting with that discomfort of a picture not fully together. I think it's healthy. There we go. Resisting an internal desire for control over a piece of artwork. There we go. Go around this ear here. Beautiful. And around here. Lovely. Intense reds. John, I thought you'd gone to sleep. Good to have you back here. I thought I spoke too softly, too long. I put John fast asleep. I've got myself to blame. Cheers, John. Self-portrait? I don't think I've striked this pose before. But I think it's a pose that we can all relate to, in that he is having a moment of thought. And wherever you're at with your life, whatever you're doing, sometimes allowing yourself that moment just to think. Not about your mortgage, not about your cars, not about Saturday night plans, just thinking. More about why, who am I, what am I doing, and why am I doing it? Sort of questions you don't ask yourself seriously that often. But then when you look back at the world, in hindsight, if you're 85, 95, 70, however old you may be, you're on your deathbed looking back, you're not going to care what your plans were for Wednesday. You're not going to care where you're at with your mortgage repayments. This is all irrelevant. All you're going to care about is that one question that you didn't ask nearly as often as you should. What am I doing here? Why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? And what, if anything, do I truly care about? Pursue those answers. Or thought. Just keep asking yourself those questions. Pure thought. And you won't waste a single second. Now, puppy was naughty. Alright. Fair enough. That is a compelling reason. Let's add a little bit more up through here. Dabble with it through here a little bit. You can see how these reds are actually making the whole body pop. There's this life, this surging intensity that's coming onto them by doing this. There we go. Beautiful. And I think we'll add the same colour into the background. There we go. There we are. Man, it's got some intensity to it. Perfect. A few big old bold colours. Changing the whole complexion of that background. There we are. These big, long, bold strokes. It's totally okay. There we are. Right. I'm going to grab myself a big old glass of water. And if you haven't hydrated today, I suggest you do the same. And we'll pick up where we've left off in just a moment. I know I said I wanted this one in blue, but Picasso's blue phase means less to me today, so I think we might have something a little bit different. We'll see. Anyway, hello Ivan, how you doing? One moment guys, I will be back in just a second. La da da dee. Appreciate your patience, team. And I did a little wardrobe change. That shit was a little bit itchy for some reason. Anyway, do you feel older than 30 years old? I mean, I think some days you do and other days you don't. Has anyone ever called you Sibby? Yeah, most of my life I was called Sibby. But then, somewhere between primary school and high school, I started getting called just Sib, which was all good. Lots of Bazes in my high school too. So a lot of the Bazes kept the name Baz and I get called Sib, which was alright. I like Baz though. Baz has a nice ring to it. But Sebastian for full. I think I suit Sib. It's just hard to say on the phone line sometimes. Because it has that less of a bite to the name. It's more smooth the whole way through. My hair looks red tonight. Ah, I see what's happening here, guys. I got my lights on just a little bit too. See if this fixes it. Give me just a second. It's a drastic change. How about now? Did I figure out why it looks red? Or does it still look the same? Who knows? I think I can see the slight red tinge as well. Hello, Luna. Oh, cheers, Bradley. Appreciate that. This knee's going to come out a little bit more here. It's okay. A little bit of controlled chaos. Here we go. And we're just acknowledging a bunch of dark areas. Just bouncing over each other. Very little context connecting them. They'll dismantle the overall picture at first, and then they'll help the overall picture really stand out. Here we go. There we go. Engulf that area in there. Lovely. And a bit more in here. Yeah, that's what we want that. Perfect. Now, I want something. Is just what is the thinker thinking of anyway? What is he thinking of? I reckon it's more fun. I reckon it's more fun to not know what the thinker's thinking of. I think there's too many people that we already know exactly what they're thinking. I think the fun behind the thinker is that he's pondering in quiet contemplation. You don't need to know what he's thinking. It'd be nice to know, but of course we'll wonder, scrutinise and try and figure it out. But the most important factor about it is that he is thinking. How often do we do that? How often do we do that? Do you give yourself time to think? Hey, g'day Will, how we doing? Alright. Alright. A bit more through here. Man, I can't wait to get back to my little speaker. My little mic. So I can start communicating better with my quieter tones. I like communicating with quieter tones. Don't like yelling so much. Nice quiet voice. Inside voice, that's what they call it. Here we go. He's thinking, how long do I have to pose? Yeah, he probably started as Discobulus, actually. And then 3 hours into it, he says, no, Michelangelo, I'm tired. I'm going to sit in this position. Maybe. Yeah, come on down here. Ooh. And a little bit more through here. Now we're talking. Up through here. Oh yeah. That's what we're after. Bit more on this chest here. Yeah. You combine this with a slightly darker purple. Expand it all through here. Won't cover up all of it. Most of it. Hello, Jacob. How we doing? Good to have you here. There we are. Starting to see a bit more depth creeping into this image. There we go. Oh, thanks, Will. Painting's looking good. Thanks, LJ. Appreciate that. Looking wild. Looking wild. But that's part of the fun. We want that. I mean, we want that pondering look, but I think we also want something just a little bit more crazy. We're so used to a regular frozen thinker. Stone does a really good job of that. So we don't want that frozen version. We want a crazy, it's not your usual colour palette. But I know you're not done yet. We might keep it off the usual colour palette. It's more fun this way. What was I going to say? I was going to say, I'm going to lift this up a little bit first off. Here we go. Did I finish that thought? I feel like stone represents it really, really well. So we need to capture something else. A bit more vigour. Something stone left behind. Contemplation with stone, that's a tough order to try and compete against. Contemplation in stone. There we go. Perfecto. Just lower it in that last little bit. There we go. Beautiful. How are we looking there? I think we're in fine form. That's good. Let's get that plate out of the way. Pick up our old plate. Pick up this. Beautiful. Right. I'm going to keep adding on in here. That's better. Now we're standing in a good position. Now I can really square off against the piece. I like the brows, they're introspective. Yeah, I suppose they are a little bit. We might lose them yet though, so you have to enjoy them right now. No part of this painting's going to remain the way it is. It's going to keep changing, altering and growing. And that is part of the fun. The stuff you gain between layers and the stuff you lose. Part of the reason why watching painting happen live is quite fun. There's a lot of stuff early in the piece that's covered up that you lose, that had a huge impact on the overall picture, but only a small amount of it remained. Kind of cool to see back on this one how there was an intense amount of that blue, which then gave way to a sea of red, which then gave way to more purples, and then back to a little bit of blue for highlights. And maybe we resurge into something else again. Who knows? Who knows? Here we go. A little bit more through here. Come on down this leg here. Yeah, fill that in. That's fantastic. Alright, all through here. swapping between paint styles over the surface as well. Sort of opening up with a more fluid strokes on those forming parts. And then in those more neglected backing areas, we're turning the strokes into being more cross-hatchy, wish-washy, what would you call it? All those things. Fun to see emotions and feelings change while paintings are being created. Yeah. And actually, starting off being excited about Picasso's blue phase, changing our mind and approaching it from a different angle, and then altering colour palettes. This is exactly what's happening. It's my mood that's changing, and it's having this dramatic effect on what the painting is going to be. So single sitting paintings can be fascinating. Single sitting paintings are great because in those single sittings you capture a single expressive emotion in abundance. But then when you have multiple sitting paintings, you capture a journey that changes session to session, layer to layer, stroke to stroke. And that's kind of fun. I like that. Hello Deborah, welcome on in. There we go. Here we go. Been a while, Deborah. Partly my fault. There we go. And a bit more through here. All the way up his kneecap. Beautiful. And down through there. Fair enough. Fair enough. Here we go. Right the way to the edge there. Can you see that head there, guys? Or have I got that cut off for you? Then right up here. There we go. Beautiful. Might actually even turn this towards you a little bit more. Bear with me, folks. There we go. And bring that down a little bit. And then out a little bit. Bit more. Yeah, there we go. Yoo-hoo! Oh, a little bit lower. Whew. Hello, Nova Super. How we doing? Right. Bon, thanks for the roses. Appreciate you. Ah, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Right. Righty-tighty. We need to jump on you guys here a little bit. 1 second. Let's get that sorted here a little bit. Just make sure. Let me know if we're missing any of it, guys. I try and keep a little bit of a frame around the whole thing. You bid 250. You got 250. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Ah, sorry, it's not for sale just yet. But it's very, very exciting. See you later, Ivan. Look after yourself, mate. And Vendor, not nombe. Not nombe. Don't quite understand. Here we go. Start finding a few little pieces through here. There we go. And down through here. Try and make those strokes as long as possible. Long flowing strokes. Just like what we talked about with Venus del Milo. Is that the one thing stone can't do? Because it's done with a chisel, can create the illusion of long strokes, as many statues do, but it can't be long strokes. That's for us. That's for the brush. Sorry, Bro Selector. Well, with a bit of luck, we'll get a series of these rock ones going. But at the moment, just enjoy them being made. Unless there's one you really, really like, and you really don't want to miss out, then send me a message, and we can put it, not on hold, but you can have the first right of refusal. To be like, yes, that's everything I wanted. Or, you fell to pieces there at the end. Which artists tend to do sometimes. Get so caught up in it, insecurities start bubbling, and all of a sudden, the whole picture falls to bits. Sabrina, how are we doing? Good to have you here. Sub, what would be your best day on earth? Sub, what would be your best day on earth? Oh, you're saying Seb. Oh, you've got a U in there. I think you need to do it with an E. But that's okay. My best day on earth. You know, actually I went to a concert one time with someone, lovely person, and they danced their bum off at that concert. They had a lot of fun, non-stop dancing. They really went for it. The rest of us were surprised how hard they went at it, how much joy that they had. And at the end of it, they said, that was the best concert of my life. It was the best night of my life. And I thought, I've had better nights than that. And I realised in my head, I had limited that night. By assuming I wasn't going to have the best night of my life, I stopped it from being the best night of my life. And therefore, someone else in the group had far more fun than me. And it was all my fault that I hadn't had as much fun. And so I think actually, not going out with the idea in your mind that this could be, just accept that it could be, the best night of your life, because you're allowed to have more than one. I think we can stop resisting what could be great nights, what could be a lot of fun. And I look back on that, and every time I go out now, don't resist. Let the night become what it's going to become. And even if it's just a regular night in, it could be a night that you look back on in 20, 10, 5, 1 year, 3 months, doesn't matter. A night you look back on very, very fondly, even if nothing happens. What's that classic saying? I wish we knew these were the good old days before they were the good old days. Well, tell you what, whatever age you are right now, these are the good old days. Oh yes, Brian. Oh yes. How many nights were not the best night of our life because we didn't accept the possibility that it could be? I think a lot of us just need to grow up and be open to the possibility that we could actually have a good time. Instead of waiting for any given night to show us why it's the best night of our lives, as if it owes us something, to actually go out there and think to ourselves, how am I going to make this night something that's really special, not only for me, but everyone who I'm enjoying this night with. That doesn't mean do something crazy, but think of any night. What could you do to make someone else's night amazing? Now imagine if 5 of you went out to a Billy Joel concert. I don't care, whatever it is you like to do. But 5 of you go out somewhere, and the other 4 people, all they think about the whole evening is how to make you have the best night of your life. Now that's possible if you go out that evening and you spend the whole night trying to make those other 4 people have the best night of their life. If all 5 of you do that, I don't care where you go, that's going to be a fun evening. I guarantee that. Hey Richie, Rich, how we doing? I don't think we do that enough. We sort of expect the night to give us something, the day to give us something, a festival to give us something, our friends and family members to give us something. Be the change that you want to see. Give, 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 give. And find yourself a group of people who give, 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 give. And once you're in that group, even if you're in a little bit of a slump on a night, a day, a coffee date, a walk, guess what? 5 people are playing the same game as you, where they just want to make you as happy as you can possibly be. That, I reckon, is pretty cool. It does have that slight sort of hairstyle to it, but no, it's not. It's actually a cap. It's because the carving that we're using for the thinker hasn't carved out the hair of the statue. But it's funny. It's funny how the political side of things, we're so used to seeing it that our minds are almost morphed by it. When we saw, we have that other picture of a man laughing, and everyone says Joe Biden, and now we have a statue of the thinker saying Donald Trump. Nah. Your eyes can see what they want to see, of course. And that's the beauty of eyes. But I typically try and keep these pictures in a way that we can ponder on what they might be. It's just the first things we see. I agree. Our eyes can see what they want to see. And in the other picture we see Joe Biden. And in Barbie we see Barbie. Even though Barbie is Barbie. I've read some books that try and talk about art and say that there's nothing in art except for a political statement. I don't agree with that. Or for art to be famous it needs to be political. I don't agree with that. I think there's a world of art. I think it undermines the regular purpose of art in everyday life. I don't think cave drawings were done to be political. I don't think anyone was trying to make a political statement thousands of years ago and they used berry juice to make cave drawings. That just doesn't sit right with me. Not Sleepy Joe. No, this isn't Sleepy Joe. We've got another picture that looks a lot like Biden, although it's just a man laughing. Here we go. Beautiful. A bit more through here. Just some shapes in the background. Just to ponder with. Gotta go, Seb. Thanks, Brian. Catch you later. Look after yourself. There we go. Now, next colour off the ranks. Got a murky colour palette. Let's steer into it a little bit. Grab some of this. This is green gold. Mossy. It's going to be a fun colour. It's not going to be perfect either. It's going to combine into a colour palette that we already had. Thanks, Nova. The Thinker by Robin? Maybe. Maybe. Here we go. Just little bits of this colour. Everywhere we see shapes, I'm just going to add it on in. We're not worried at all about the overall picture of the thinker, as our brush touches the surface, it's only worried about capturing that one little moment, that one little shape. Hey Emmett. What's the request? Picture of you. There we go. Let's get that in there. There we go. This is exactly the colour I wanted. This is embellishing it. This is fun. Yeah, that's having a massive effect. I like that. And how am I? Jundy, I'm fantastic. Jeepers. I guess Jundy was taken, so you've been Jundy 1, 2, 3, 4. Ha 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 ha. Wild. There we go. Perfect. Big, thick strokes. Beautiful. There's a level of abstraction we want in there too. I want you to somewhat get lost. I've said this in the past, but somewhat get lost in just the fun of the paint bouncing over itself. And then see the character, and then get back to the paint, and then see the character, and sort of bounce backwards and forwards there. Oh, and guys. We just hit 20,000. Well, we hit it 2,000 ago. I missed it. But thanks for tapping the screens and giving in likes. I appreciate that. I don't want anyone to get arthritis in your thumb though. If your thumb's getting sore, please slow down. While I appreciate it, I prefer you have a fine set of thumbs. There we go. Beauty. Right, where to from here? Where to from here? One second, that makes me paint on my feet. I will say this though, guys. I think we've taken this one to a fantastic place. I think with the thinker, one of the really, really fun things that paint's doing is you get the feeling that he's actually not just a stone cold statue that you can see his whole body at once, but feels like his arms and his head is coming more towards you, as if this whole leg, which is quite pronounced in the picture, is coming forward, as falling back. This whole part's falling back, and these hands and this head seems to be giving itself more presence. Now, the wild thing about that is I love what we've done with this guy. I love it. I don't think we did so well with Venus. In fact, I think we may have ruined her. But that's part of the fun. We talk about this all the time. Paintings are not linear. They don't go from nothing to good and every little piece in between. They go on ups and downs and ups and downs. And we risked it. We risked it with a new colour palette. We risked it with a new stroke style with the paint and things. And I don't think it paid off that well. But that's okay. Because you know what? We get as many tries as we want to alter it, to change it, to have fun with it. And this one here, this is the risk that paid off a little bit. This is quite fun. Alrighty tighty. Now, let's have a little look-see here. Shall we just keep pursuing this green path? Maybe. Maybe we just keep adding green. I think that's possible. Like Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt. Is that right? I'm just going to do one little thing for myself here. Bear with me for a second. There we go. It does look fun, dark green. I think so. I think the blues that we have on currently match the colour of sap green. So we're not going to use those. But we will play with darker greens. Darker greens in these black areas, and then go into lime greens into the background. I think that is a good plan. But before we initiate it, I'm just trying to get this a little bit sauteed. I think we've got the right amount of white balance in there too. It's quite contrasting though, isn't it? Quite poppy with it. Is this going to work for me? I want a little bit of a bounce in my step for this next little part. That's what I want. Here we go. Is that going to work for me? No life yet. Wow. Alright. No love coming out there. Tough world, guys. Tough world. Alright. Reds look cool too. Yeah, we'll give some... the reds do look cool, but I think we've got enough of them underlined. Oh, the details in the hands. First thing you noticed. The hands are pretty rough. But yes, there is some fun shapes coming out in them. The knuckles here. And the, the knuckles and joints here are really fun on this hand. This one here could use a bit more love, but the abstraction's also quite fun. Quite fun. Alrighty. What colour next? Here we go. Dark green, a little bit of teal, lovely, and a little bit of light green. Oop, not that one. This one. If it wants to work for me. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. Here we go. Come right on in here close. There we are. And then close his face here. And cut in there. Down his nose. Down through here. Knuckle there. And across there. Non-puck. I don't speak that language, but good to have you here. Alright, give me a bit more through here. Up over here. And jeepers, on the brow here. Yeah, I think so. There we go. It keeps freezing. Ah, yuck. Might be the connection in your zone. Who knows? Who knows? There we go. A little bit over here. A little bit down through here. Beautiful. What your age you start painting? It's a good question. I've been painting all my life, but that's no reason why anyone should choose not to start painting. I think I really started getting serious on painting. I think serious on painting. What would that be described as? I think I was lucky that my parents always had a little room they set aside with the concrete floor that we use as a creative area in Paynton when I was younger. And that really, really helped me find my feet as a child, to always be pursuing creative outlets. But what do you look at next? University? Time you spend in front of a canvas in your own time? I think that's the most meaningful time. Talk about studies. And yes, study is important. But how much time do you, by yourself, spend lovingly in front of a canvas, nurturing it, or breaking it, trying to see what an isolation that you can make? And then, when you can look at the end result and not judge it, that's the hardest thing. I just want to judge your result. Why are you not everything that I had in mind? When you can look at the end result and not judge it, but love those things that it does produce in abundance. The beauty or creativity or the expression or the confusion, whatever it might be. If you can actually make something and feel that and not despise it, then that is one of the most challenging steps to do as an artist, I reckon. How many artists leave the studio thinking, oh, it just didn't come together today for me. I just couldn't make it work. Walk out of that studio and instead say to yourself, I tried my best, and I'm really proud of myself today. Sometimes that's what you need to hear, not the monologue of yourself, giving yourself a beat up. Jay Smith in with the advice. That's handy. Now we're talking to it. There we go. Maybe a bit more in here. Perfect. Lovely. All right. What's going to be next off the ranks? I think we need to exacerbate a few of those blue tones again. You enjoy painting, you were in a class at school? That's fantastic. That's fantastic. There we are. There's another one in here. And over here. Beautiful. Where are we going to go next with this blue? There we go. Perfecto. Maybe a little bit more blue. here. And where else do we want to go? This knee is crying out for some more form. So we'll give it. Here we go. Here we are. Why did you choose the Thinking Man? Oh, you got the name a little bit mixed up again there, Serena. But we chose the Thinking Man because I like this statue. I like this statue. I like Venus Del Milo. And I wanted to try and capture them softly. I thought there isn't many soft thinkers. They're always quite grueling, tough. And let's not make them grueling and tough. Let's make them soft. Let's make them sensitive. Gentle under the brush. So, to a large degree, they were just chosen because they were statues. But if they go well, such that I feel like there's more that we can find in them, we might go for a run through some statues. Make a whole collection of them. Softness and stone. But if in these two, we feel like we capture the thing, then we move on. Find something else to capture. That's what I reckon. That thinker needs a hug. Yeah. He's got that look about him. Richie Rich. There's not many of them that go into storage. I've got 2 here in the house with me that I've been keeping close to my chest. And then the other ones are in homes in different places all over the world. Mainly offshore. There's a few here in New Zealand, but most of them go offshore. Which is pretty special. Is painting my hobby? It's my favourite thing to do indeed. And my favourite book, Thick Boy. My favourite book is... Oh. My favourite book is, at the moment, Secret Lives of Colour. But that's just because it's the current... That's just because it's the current book that I'm reading. But no other reason. Is it hard to paint statues? It's hard to paint anything. Is it hard to paint ears, eyes, noses, mouths? What's easy to paint? What constitutes easy? Is the statue what's relevant about the painting? Or is the statue more of just like a vessel? I think it's more of a vessel to help you capture something. When you capture a feeling of pondering, a feeling of softness inside, this chiseled hard stone. And the statue that we've got here, I mean it's not even a statue, the picture of a statue that we've got here is a means to do that. It's what exists. Here we go. A little bit through there, then around this knee, all the way over the edges. Perfect. Perfect. It's pondering our times, to be honest, Sid. Fair enough. There we go. Fantastic. Right, now, we're finished with this one. Wild thing about this one here is if we look at it, we abstracted it a wee bit. We took away from that basic blue and we attacked it with a bunch of different pigments. Although they're all subtle, there's a little bit of green there, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow inside that green. It's that green gold that we see spattered around. But the end outcome's pretty fun. And I'll bring you up close to it as well, because up close we can see just how wild this painting is. You ready? Let's go in right about here. And we go. See how this paint works? It's completely wild. Lumps of paint over lumps of paint. That's what we're dealing with. Big, thick strokes. Chaotic. So when we come up close like this, we just see chaos. That's all we see. But as we gently come back, all those chaotic little strokes, chaotic little moments, in their imperfection, can come together and form. Look at that. That is just chaos. We can't tell what that is. Only once we continue to come out and the whole picture is there in unison can we see something. Oh, there we go. Did that make sense? Possibly. Possibly not. There we go. It really looks like he's sitting on a bench. He is. That's good. Dun, dun, dun. Is it a white shirt? It is. He's not wearing a shirt. I'm wearing a white shirt. It's high risk. High risk, high risk. I'll just have a little look-see, team. I've got some leftover paint there. I think we might. How's Venice doing? How big is she? Yeah, might do a little play there again. Bring down the finger. Emmett, you like it? Fantastic. Mohammed, how you doing? Bring down the finger, and we'll have a little bit more of a play on Venus. There we go. So, here's our girl Venus. Now she's gone a little bit wild. But that's okay. Let's see if we can bring her into a place that we want her. It's going to be a challenge, but we can bring it back. Give me just a moment. I'm going to find something, a picture that I want to use for this. Perfect. Thanks, Emmett. Appreciate you. Right. Can you see the whole picture in your frame? Or have I cut it off a little bit? Hopefully we can see everything. Okay, here we go. Let's turn you into something special. How are we going to do it? First off, I think we need to come in. It's risky business, team. It's risky business. But I'm going to get a bunch of black. Black's a defining colour. Defining in that it's going to seek to control the whole thing. If we're not careful here, we'll destroy the whole thing. But that's okay. I like that. 20 years from now. 20 years from now, 20 years from now, I want to be surrounded by little children. I'm a family man. I'd make a great dad, I reckon. Surrounded by children. And I'd love to be in a place, whether I call it a home or not is irrelevant. I want those children to call it home. I want them to feel safe. I want them to feel loved. If I can have that, I'll be happy. So the question is whether they'll be mine, or fostered, or who knows. Doesn't really matter. Paint in the United States as a teacher? I don't think that's going to happen. But it could. Wouldn't be opposed to it. It'd be quite fun, actually. Thanks, Richie Rich. Love the polo? Yeah, polo's fun. Polo's fun. Here we go. See how we're demanding detail out of her? Very effectively too. Come back to us, Venus. Come on, Venus. Just dropped a lump on my shoulder there. And then we'll sneak up to here. Serena's dropping words of wisdom of her own at the moment. It's lovely to see. Let's really sacrifice a few things in favour of building some contrast into Venus. See here how I've been quite loose with the way we're applying this paint. Confident in the fact that we might destroy aspects of Venus. In favour though, creating the possibility of capturing something even more slightly special. Even more slightly special. Is that even a way to describe something? Alright, coming down low. In here. There we go, big thick lines coming through here. See this blackout's coming in here? Just destroying everything in its path. Defining the picture again. Stopping it from being lost in copious, endless amounts of paint. And then we can come on back with some more colour. We have expression though. We have boundless expression. And like I say, this is what I was talking about. We can always bring back detail. But if we don't start with expression, it's all over. It's a waste of time. If you don't want expression, ask an AI for the picture. Get something beautiful. Of course you'll get something beautiful. But being that an AI can't feel, how would you get the expression? Expressive, not expression. This isn't me hating on AI either. I missed the spot, you reckon? Well, thanks, Matthew. Appreciate you, mate. Appreciate you. There we go. There we are. Little bits of black everywhere, guys. Just accentuate that detail. And once I've applied enough of it, we'll swap. Hop. Back onto a more intense Colour. What's more intense than black? Maybe saturated blue. Who knows? See how we feel. Here we go. All black. Here we go. Now these strokes that are disappearing underneath this brush of black, they're not completely disappearing, because what's going to exist forever is their texture. The texture they add to the picture, which is still here in abundance. Big, long, obnoxious strokes everywhere. There we go. Beautiful. Lovely. Right. Why not? Pastel pink into black. It's going to go a little bit grey. Yeah. But it's going to be a nice marbly stone colour, which is kind of fun. Since we're in that mood of actually bringing her back to a little bit of reality, marbly stone might be just the touch we're after. Hello, Pepe. How are we doing? Good to have you back in here, Pepe. Thanks, Bruce. Here we go. See how this is muting those colours a little bit? It's okay. Having fun building Venus up layer by layer. We're happy. Happy to destroy what we make. Come on back, bring it back, and then destroy it over again. In favour of seeing that layer after layer, and get close to that beauty that we've started out wanting to capture. I don't want conventional beauty, guys. We talked about this. I don't want conventional beauty. I want something more raw and expressive. An expression of beauty, which I think is arguably more beautiful than actual physical beauty to the eye of the beholder. This will be the kind of beauty that you see, that you marvel at. Similar to, imagine looking at the picture from a computer-generated image. If I asked AI to generate beauty, what would it show you? I want this to be the complete opposite. I want it to be beautiful, but in a much more raw, expressive, crazy kind of way. Giving off Picasso vibes, Nova? That's exciting. Here we go. Right, where do we go next? Where do we go next? Up through here. Up through here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Bit more down through here. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. I love the way her, she has this slight framing on her tummy as well. Yeah. It's a good place. And there's definitely a bit of a pull forward on the the fabric that she's wearing. Moving forward with her leg. Just a little bit. Just a teeny tiny little bit. There we go. Coming on right down in here. Right. We've gone from black to grey. Where are we going to go next? Hey Colton, how you doing? actually going to swap plate, I think. Swap plate. Let's get the grey off our brush. And I think let's get something light. I think we're going to go back. I think we're going to go back to our defaults, where we started from. Green. I think that's a good place to go. Here we go. Light green. Yeah. And then a bunch of white. Perfect. It's like a light, limey thing. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, back to our roots. Back to our roots. Here we go. Ooh-wee. Okay. Now we're talking to it. Saturated poppy colour. Now we're talking. Yeah, there we go. All the way out to the edges. Around there. Beautiful. Up around here. Hey Tim, how you doing? What's up, my guy? Such a, I love that American phrase. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. How many people were at university with me? I have no idea, Serena. The question is lost to years and years and years. Hard for me to know. Lightening up in here. Now we're talking to it. There we go. Now we're talking. Oh, there's a little bit that's going to go in there. So yeah, we're not afraid to lose some of that paint underneath. This is where I say, you have to be willing to risk what a painting is in order to see what a painting can become. Here we go. And down through here. Hello, Victor. JRM, can you request and then buy? That's a good question. It depends. So if you've got an idea that you'd like to see come to life, we can certainly do it. But if you want to pay once it's finished, then we have to find an idea that I love too. Because we're also leaving ourselves open to the possibility that the painting will be mine. So we can't do it in the way that, well, we can do whatever we want, but it'll be a shared project. Something we embark on together. And who knows? Maybe it'll be beautiful. Best thing to do, depending on what it is. But typically, if it's a commission, we do a deposit, and then you decide from there. Cheers, Victor. But the other thing that can happen, it hasn't happened yet, but if you decide you want a picture, and you pay the instalment, you may get to the end of the painting and hate it and want to run, in which case you wouldn't need to pay for the whole thing. But the beauty behind that is we'd never end up in that situation. I wouldn't let you, in that we'll redo a painting. We'll start from scratch. I'll do whatever I have to do to make sure we reach the end of the journey, achieving the goal we set out to do. Art can be crazy. Art can go on twists and turns. But the only thing we can control well, what can we control? Our emotions towards it, our tenacity to pursue it. That's all good, JRM. Best thing to do, contact me via the link in the bio. Instagram, email, whichever way you like. And I'm excited. We've got a couple of projects that I've been talking to people about. You like the belt? Me too. It's got paint all over it. It's been a couple of projects I've been talking to people about. And I'm holding off on a few of them at the moment. And the only reason why is when I start these projects, I want to do it outside. Live, outdoors. I love the studio. I love here, don't get me wrong. But at the start of a project, I want to do it outside. And to do that, I want to have that nice little speaker on. So we can talk, coerce, with pure sound. That's okay, Deborah. Here we go. And down through here. Coming on down. Alright. And down through here. Well, I am feeling a million times better about this picture now. You feel that almost pastely tones coming out of it now. Really, really fun. Really, really fun place to be. Let's go back to the start there. There we go. How did Yzma turn out? Never got to see the finish. Yzma is not finished yet. We're still slowly putting her together. We're in no hurry. She doesn't belong anywhere. We're just playing with her. Let's get some white actually. Pure white. Where are you hiding? There we go. Oh, that one's empty. This one here. There we go. This one here is beautifully done. We're not done yet. It's fun, but I want more beauty. I'm greedy like that. Greedy like that. There we go. Can I paint Disney characters? I mean, we could. They're pretty well painted already, aren't they? We could dabble. But I think there's so much stuff to be captured. That's why when I talk about these stone statues, I always say, we'll start the project, but if we capture what we set out to capture, we won't hesitate to charge off in a new direction. We haven't got long, guys. However many years we'll be painting for, and every year new subjects come into existence, new things to capture, new ideas. Can't afford to waste a second. So much white, that made it look really different. Yeah. It starts to bring out her body more, and then the blacks drop back at the same time. So her pose becomes far more aggressive. Is aggressive the right word? Eccentric. And that's what we want. Eccentric pose. There we go. And then down through here. Lovely, these big strokes. They're very much constructed with a brush stroke here. When you come close to this canvas, all you see is wild cascading brush strokes. Just like with the thinker. go. Perfect. Oh. It is. What time is it here? It is 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Wild. There we go. God, I love her. That went really well. That went really, really well. I'm happy with that. We sent her in a pretty wild direction there, but we had some fun. So, I think more than ever now, she's never been wild than she is right now, but at the same time, I think she's never had more of a personality than she's had right now. Let's bring in a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about with those wild brush strokes. Right in there. Look at that. Look how ridiculously wild that is up close. That's what we're dealing with. Up close to the picture, when I say we see brush strokes, I mean they are brush strokes. They're raw. They're crazy. And then we come out. It's about here. It's about here that we start seeing actually, okay, we're halfway between crazy wild brush strokes and maybe the first indication of form. And then when we come the whole way out, bang, there she is. There she is. So the fun behind that too is if this painting here is in your living room. Oh, let's bring this down here to the bottom. If your painting is here in your living room and I'm having a coffee right beside it, I'm not like, oh, Venus. It's actually just paint. Beside me here, I can't really see her. I just see crazy wild strokes. But if I was across the room, then it adds into the whole effect of it. I see, across there is Venus. So that's nice, because a lot of the time portraiture or characters can be quite aggressively in your face when you stand beside them or sit beside them. But not with this style. With this style here, up close like this, all I see is messy, crazy strokes. And that's really fun. That's really, really fun. I don't know if I want to be a singer. I'm just saying to no guitar. Go for gold. Be a singer. Do your thing. Alright guys, I'm going to charge off. But it's been an absolute pleasure being with you here today. Some fun coats on these two. Some very, very fun coats. We had a pretty abstract little morning, didn't we? For the few of you that are hanging out here, and you're from America and different places, and you're staying up late into the night, let me let you go to bed now. I really appreciate you joining in. And it's abstract looking, yeah, but it's fun though, isn't it? Don't we like a little bit of abstract? I love it. I love abstract, like this sort of wild painting style, when you come away and you can see the picture. I love being able to see the picture and then come in close and seeing just this crazy mess. And that's what this one does in the most beautiful of ways. So, anyway. Alright guys, wherever you are in the world, have a great day or a great night. Appreciate you all the bits and see you again soon. Alright. Bye guys.